Oh, all right. So we have the game. I don't think we have sound though. Sound says. There we go. All right. All right. We've got some pretty colors so far. Let me double check, make sure the category is switched. Yes, it did. Good stuff. All right. All right. Okay. Ooh, content warnings. Love a game that puts its content warnings front and center. Does that cut out the sound? It does. Okay. Let's see if there's like a borderless window. Nope. All right, so we'll just do that. Oh, I'm loving the music. I love those synths. Okay, let's see what our content warnings are. Does not contain excessive violence or explicit sex. However, it does deal with mature topics, which may be uncomfortable for some players. Many ways to live your life on VTuber. Just like in real life, some choices can lead you to dark places. Broadly, content warnings for the game include the following. Okay, so we've got major character death, children in peril, animal cruelty, bodily harm and grossness, implied sexual content, drugs and alcohol, violence in text, mental health and trauma, domestic abuse, and traumatic global events. I don't want to know any specifics because I like going into things very blind, but I wonder, because this is when it's a couple content warnings, it's easy for me to throw it in as a quick pin. I wonder what might be a quick way to put a content warning pin. Is there like a external website I could link instead that's official for the game? Let me see real quick. What was a teenage exocolonist content warnings? All right, so this is the official website. Okay. Let me make. Can I make this smaller? I link to just this page. Are we good? Yes, we are. All right. So I'm gonna instead use this link because it looks like their of content warnings. I think that's going to be the most succinct way of handling content warnings for this. Bam, ba-dam. All right. And if any events make you uncomfortable, it is absolutely no problem if you need to step away, whether it's for a moment or whether it's while I play the game. It doesn't matter. Always take care of yourself first and make sure you are comfortable with what's going on. I can't believe you've done this to me, Aram. They're in the void. Well, I did find them. Thankfully, their website has it right there. So I click that right there, make it very easy. I would say, because it looks like the content warnings will expand on specifics. All I'll ask is, as with any game I play, please don't spoil things. Don't backseat. If you're excited for something, please don't lead it with any statements. Because even non-spoilerly statements can be spoilers in and of themselves. So anyway, here is the plot in detail. In this paragraph, in this 12-part essay, I will detail in specificity the exact metrics from which the spoilers will flow. Seems the music is done, or it got ended. All right. let us jump right in. Also, I hope you're having a good evening, Aurum. I mean, waking up, that sounds familiar. Like that they pop up the content warnings in case someone might have missed it. You awake to chaos, a confusion of light and heat and smoke. Fire! Your head is pounding. You must have hit it and blacked out, but you aren't sure how you got here or what on Vertumna is happening. There's something important you need to remember. Your stomach lurches as the floor crumbles beneath your feet, then collapses. Ooh, someone's running up to us. Help! Your body aches. Your eyes burn from the smoke. A figure appears through the flames. It's your friend. Your friend? Wait, why can't you remember her name? She's gesturing and shouting at you, but all you hear is a ringing in your ears. I think we need to climb out first up. You try to stand up, but one of your legs folds uselessly beneath you. Won't hold your weight. Your friend pulls you out of the rubble. She throws your arm over her shoulder and half drags you towards the door. I'm loving these scene transitions. The way they layered these to kind of do like that parallax effect to give it depth. Absolutely fantastic. Through it, you see a deep, eerie twilight. Dark blue and cold against the heat of the fire around you. Low season. Doggy! Glowing eyes. You shake your head to clear your vision. Is that some kind of dog? Like, from Earth? Doggy. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit! The creature howls and lunges. Its jaws open. Wow. Well, all right. It's a short game, people. You know, thanks for stopping on by. You know, we didn't really go very long, so, you know, maybe I'll switch to something else. Interesting way to start the game. So I wonder if that's an event from the future. And we may arrive at it sometime through our gameplay, where we'll have more context for what's going on. I wonder if that might be like the end of the game is that situation. And then the rest of the game is all the events leading up to that. You know? Or maybe it's some kind of future site? Reflecting this, I'm not sure why your essay was 12 pages. Well, you know, Aurum, that's just what happens when the school gives you the assignment. You gotta pad things out. That just happens. Welcome on by, Yeet and Dreamer Arizel. I also love this futurist aesthetic. I want to say it's like, I'm trying to remember the specific term for that style of futurism. I think it's like 80s retrofuturism. Because I feel like 70s retrofuturism is still more like cassette tapes and much more blocky stuff. But I think more of like, and like 60s futurism is more like Jetsons kind of stuff, if I'm remembering correctly. A lot of like those diners with that one shade of seafoam green and, you know, things like that. I could be completely wrong, because I tend to mix up my futurisms and fashion stuffs. In a VR meet, but suddenly caught yourself going mute, so you left her. Aw, no problem. Always, it's always fine to understand your social boundaries and social capacity. Retrofuturism is the aesthetic. Yes, yes. It certainly is an interesting mix of a certain time period, but still catapulting into the futurism. We are playing I Was a Teenage Exocolonist, a bit of a visual novel, as I understand it, although I believe there is a kind of card-based battle question mark system, maybe just like card-based tasks. I don't know. Whenever I find a game that I think is interesting, I tend to avoid anything else about it because I like to be very blind going into things. Because I like analyzing stuff and thinking too deeply on things. Let's see. We are born on the Stratospheric, Earth's first colony ship, halfway through its 20-year voyage to a wormhole at the edge of the Sol system. We're pretty familiar over here in the Ziggurat with wormholes, thanks to that little void portal that I can't seem to close, and we will just ignore and leave off in the corner, and hopefully nobody falls into it anymore. Your parents run the hydroponic gardens, which make fresh air and vegetables for the ship. Like other colonists, they bravely chose to make this one-way journey to the uncharted planet Fortuna 4 in the hope that they could escape Earth's troubles. They had you the old-fashioned way, merging their genes like they merged their cultures and traditions. They name you. Ooh. So, Solanike, Solana, Solane, something else. Solanike. I'm kind of partial to either Solanike or Solana, if I'm being honest. I kind of like the AE. I just think that's a fun sound. I feel like it's got too many syllables if I'm going to be saying it a lot. I think we might go to, I think we'll trunicate and just go with Solana. Before I select that though, I do want to say, so it seems like what we have is a generation spaceship. So traditionally in sci-fi, you know, when you're dealing with traveling to other planets, you sort of have two schools of thought. You have the cryo chamber, or I guess three technically. So you have, like, you know, faster than light travel, you instantly go there. Easy peasy. You have the, hey, we put people in cryogenic sleep, and then we go the however many hundreds of years or centuries or whatever, and then you arrive there and you wake up, you defrost, you decant, whatever. And then you have the generational seed ships, which is basically, you know, people are still living their normal lives and they're still awake and active while the ship is traveling to their intended destination. So, you know, you have, they call them generational because the idea is you'd be having multiple generations of humans across decades or centuries as your ship is traveling to the intended planet. There is a really good short story that used the generational seed ship concept. It was like 50 or so pages. That's gonna bug me. I'm gonna, for the next time I play this, I'm gonna need to see if I can refine that short story, because I remember it being like really, really good and really uses a lot of concepts of what a generational sea ship might function in the context of like across decades and centuries, because you have things like language drift, you have, you know, technical failures. How do you account for those things? You have, you know, various cultures. Like, how do you keep humans who may have been born on a spaceship and never known anything other than living on a spaceship? You know, they don't know what Earth is. They don't know what a sky is. All they know is space and the machines. And, you know, eventually, you know, if the generations are long enough, not even their living memory will be anyone who remembers a planet. All they will have known is living on this spaceship. And how that might shape people's cultures and beliefs is kind of interesting. If you think of a human society in the long term, in the anthro something something something. I forget the suffix of the word I'm looking for here. So happened in Wall-E when you think about it. Yeah, in some ways, yeah. Yeah, you could think of Wall-E in some ways being kind of like a generational ship. of just like spinning around and waiting until it could come back to Earth. Sometimes they're more like hinging on an artificial intelligence to manage things, especially settings that want to use the cryogenic style of traversing another planet within human lifespan times and not like an FTL drive. They usually depend on automation to keep a ship alive, because a spaceship, you know, there's a lot of things that can fail, especially as you have more advanced electronics. And then when you're traveling at high speeds through space, impact with even tiny, like not even meteorites. Like I forget what, like you have meteors, you have meteorites, and then there's like micro something. I forget what they're called. Can have a significant amount of damage and cause problems in spaceships, you know. And when you need those ships to be functioning for hundreds, thousands of years to traverse galactic distances, you need redundant systems. You need redundant systems for redundant systems. You need redundant systems for redundant systems for redundant systems. Like, it is a level of engineering and risk mitigation that is Sisyphean, I would say, to try and work through. Hey, Dreki, hot people on screen? Well, I think there are some pretty cool people in chat, too. Ever thought about that? Over to the Dreki spin? That is a good question. Did I... Action cues. Whee! Oh, hold on a second. I think I know what's wrong. Yeah, there we go. So if it's greater than or equal to that. You know what? Me looking into improving the spin has finally paid off in figuring out that bug from last stream. So because I was trying to add more rare spin effects, I had increased the variable check, but there wasn't anything there. So if the random number hit a 3 or a 4, it would execute nothing. Whoops. All right, so fix that. Good to go. Ah, it seems I have perished. All right. And since you found a bug, we'll also refund the broken spin. Yeah. Oh, damn it, our Lucy. I guess we're spooky and we're looking in on our parents. So already, I like how it's talking about merging cultures and traditions. I really like it when sci-fi takes that concept, especially in like generational ships, of merging everything. And you know, we're already getting some very interesting, like I love their tattoos that they've got going on. This is really cool. I also love this little pattern they got on their side. I'm a pretty big fan of like undercuts and then having like stuff on the center of the hair. So this is a pretty sweet hairstyle. Are we getting... Ooh, I like this. We can click on characters and we get like a little bio. Okay, so our dad's name is Germanium. He works in the geoponics. And it... Oh my god. Thank you, game, for giving me pronouns. Sometimes I feel a little awkward, especially when it's later revealed in media res that a character is non-binary or trans or uses pronouns that I incorrectly assume them to be. So I think it's always really nice when games have pronouns in an accessible place. It's also why I have the pronoun accessory, so I can check myself without wrecking myself. Having a matching tattoo and hair trims is another level. Absolutely. Like this is a really sick style that they have going on. Really love it. I can't, I'm not too knowledgeable on anything, like, I'm not going to be a good source for of anything fashion wise. So I can't say if there are specific cultures and peoples like these are meant to represent. So I don't want to assume any specific culture or anything. So I'm not going to like try and guess or call anything like that out. Unless it like specifically tells us of like, you know, this is someone from, you know, this country or of these peoples. Let's see. So our mom is Falulu. Falulu. That's a funny name. Strong woman who's up to any challenge and expects the same from others. Let's go with Solana. Okay, so funny that they use a slider for pronouns. I don't know if there's any different between like midway she, her, and then like midway. So, you know, I mean, she, her, non-binary, he, him. It's my character. I'm gonna be me. I do like we can do presenting as well. That's pretty nice. That's pretty cool. But we're gonna go with the form I'm comfortable with, just because depending on how this game goes, depending on the situations that are thrown at me, I don't want to mime I feel sometimes awkward in RPGs if there are situations for a specific gender that I don't have experience or identify with, because I just feel like I can't do it respectfully, and I just kind of, I don't want to put myself in that situation if I don't have to. So we're gonna go with he, him, male presenting. Also, hello, Ice. I hope you have been having a good evening, perhaps shaking things off after the Saints run. The manliest child of all time. I don't know. We're just an adorable little goober. Look at us. We got some cool fucking hair. Like, look at these swooshes. We're styling. Look, we got some crayons. We're doing some fucking art. Like, hell yeah. We got the little jungle gym, little dome thing. Like, everyone's got a little jungle gym dome. Still need to eat. Iced. Damn it, Iced. I will mail you some food if you don't fucking eat. Play Baldur's Gate 3. I tried Baldur's Gate 3. It's really a game that I need to play with other people. It's just the way my min-maxing brain goes in Baldur's Gate. I can't do it solo and enjoy things, because I will just constantly save scumming, and like I would need to be pausing so much to be micromanaging the whole party. It's just, I don't like it. I need to be playing with a couple friends to make things functional for me. When generation ships only have the bare essentials of clothing, primarily whites, brown dye that would take up precious space. So it depends. So the short story I was mentioning, you know, they have, and I mean, this ship says they have like a hydroponics. So depending on how big it is, there could be like textiles. But like in a generational ship, things like reusing materials and self-repair will be very important. So it likely they would be resewing and reusing a lot of fabrics. You know, if you have a small tear, you know, you can just sew it back up. And I mean, I would say that lends credence to it, the fact that their clothing is so sometimes a little bit odd. So you can think of like, oh no, the bottom of this shirt was ripped. Well, okay, we can take this other part of a shirt and we'll kind of put them together like this, and then like, oh, we have this little scrap of fabric. Well, it's like, all right, we can sew it around. We have this little cape-like thing, you know? And you can get some really interesting things about that. Sometimes taking the L's is the fun thing. That's true. The same thing. Instead of playing with friends, I just made 30 different characters to do all around. Let's see. Back to the game. Also, hello, furry Milo. I don't think I said hello to you. Fuck. I need to make sure I don't click until I'm ready to continue, because that keeps happening. So You're a bright-eyed child with an active imagination, sometimes too active, your mom says. All right, so we can use the sliders to customize our character. You have vivid dreams of things you've never experienced. Dirt under your feet, skies overhead, endless jungles, and strange animals. Wonder if this is what Vertumna will be like. All right, so are we saying that our character is a reincarnation of a slug cat? Like, dirt under our feet? Check. Skies overhead? Check. Endless jungles? Check, check. Strange animals? Check, check, check. Now, maybe this game's connected to Rain World. I'm just saying. Snakes might not exist on alien planets, but snake-like qualities have evolved independently in different ecosystems over time, so it's entirely possible. You know what, Patchwork? Well, that's true. We'll have to keep an eye out. Can't believe you can be an empath for real, for real. Okay, so we do have, it looks like we have 4 stats sorted into 3 groups. We have talky, thinky, brawny. So empathy, persuasion, creativity, and bravery. And it looks like we're out of 100, but it looks like there's maybe major markers. I wonder if at like 20%, 50%, 100%, there are special things that happen. Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. Yeah. Or you can gate light, girl keep, gas boss. You know, it's, you know, whichever way you want to shuffle things. Always make food now too. You damn well better get food iced. Sounds like my wife's wife. Oof. Every child on the Stratospheric is given 1 genetic enhancement. By age 6, you begin to see the first sign of yours. All right, we can have eagle eyes, extra fingers, an absorbent brain, super strength, or calm temperament, or nothing at all. Ooh, interesting. Kudos. Reputation-based currency. Based fucking game. All right, this game, my brain is firing. I am chomping at the bit. I'm loving this. Rebellion, so relationship with adults and the colony government. So we can be a rebellious little scamp. Let's go with an absorbent brain. Ooh, +1 on brain skill challenges. All right, so they gave us a little bit of reasoning. So I think what I want to try to do, maybe, I think I want for our character to maybe be like empathic, reasoning, and animals. If I'm going to pick one stat out of each group, I want to try and see if we can increase. I think that's what I want to sort of focus on. If this game lets me, if things make sense. At the end of the day, I'm not going to bend myself out of place to take quote unquote optimal choices. You know, this is, at the end of the day, this is a bit of role playing, and let's stay true to character. Extra fingers to play the extra piano. So there's, actually cellos that have extra strings as well. Seeing a 5 and 6 string cello is very interesting. I feel like people who are able to play those have maximum brains. Steve Irwin, in space. Crikey, look at this spotted bugger. Wow, he looks like a dog. And then, oh no. Oh no. Extra fingers would be useless anywhere. It depends. I'm assuming the extra fingers thing is a reference to Gattaca. Is it? I don't remember extra fingers being a thing in Gattaca. I'm trying to remember. I've seen Gattaca a lot of times. I really like that movie. But now you've got me thinking on my, also welcome on by, Jeff. So I remember there's references to his site. There's the way he, you know, which-handed he is. I don't think extra fingers is a Gattaca reference though, because it's the handedness that gives him away. Weird choice, Automon. They went to... Fuck, you're right. You're right. Well spotted, Jeff. Well spotted. That is a very good point. There was that scene in the restaurant where there is the piano player, and I think they were talking about something about genetics of like, because if you've never seen the movie Gattaca, it's a pretty old movie, but it is pretty nice. It's pretty... The themes it runs with is a lot of the human spirit being indomitable and things like that. Like I think it has some pretty good themes that are still relevant to these days. They're actually in some ways even more relevant when it comes to genetics. And but in the setting, people are able to discriminate based on genetics, like carte blanche. And so like it's very common for people to like submit a genetics test when applying to jobs and stuff, and then it might be like, well, you have a 12% chance of developing glaucoma, and you know, we're really only accepting applicants that have like a 5% or lower, so we're going to be declining you for this job position. So it's like identity fraud becomes a thing of basically people who have quote unquote good genetics but get injured or something, will sort of sell their blood so that people can get through those genetic checks, because places will have like regular genetic authentication. We'll take like a little sample of your blood to verify who you are. But the pianist, if I'm remembering the scene correctly, they talk about how they were a natural birth, which is something that's very rare in the setting of Gattaca at the time. And they were born with extra fingers, which was seen as a drawback. It was seen as bad, as something they were shunned over. But because they went into being a pianist and they leveraged their extra finger to do something unique, that even the most genetically tailored 5-finger pianist players would literally be physically incapable of playing what the 12-fingered pianist was able to do, because he was using those extra appendages that he quote unquote effectively had. And I think it is very, very interesting. And it's about using the things that make us unique to do things and create experiences that only we can do. You know, just because you may think in a certain way, you may be in a certain way, does not mean you are less of a person. There is always something you are able to do, and you have value in your existence. You are not broken, you're not damaged. Anyway, random Gattaca tangent, but yeah, excellent. Thank you very much for pointing that out. Back to the game. So, absorbent brain. Professor Howell says kids learn fast because their brains are like sponges, but when people get older, they can't absorb as much new stuff. Not for you. You're always learning, and your curiosity knows no end. The other kids have trouble keeping up with you, but one tries. All right, so we've got the redhead with the missing tooth, so they're probably somewhat sporty. We've got our green person, so they seem okay. I can actually click on them. So we have Anemone, energetic girl who loves sports. Love how I already called that the sporty one. It's a stereotype. So Cal, I feel, is probably going to be sort of the calm, collected person. Physically strong, who isn't afraid to get in touch with his emotions. Cute. Ooh, we got Marzipan, goes by Mars, a fierce and fiery girl with big dreams of success. And then we've got Dice, withdrawn boy, a loner and awkward around other people. Okay, we've got a nice little camaraderie. I love how very different all of our characters are, both in like, you know, their expressions, how they present themselves. I love how they have little different profile pics as well. You know, she's all happy. He's kind of withdrawn. The spunky one is still spunky. And then the quiet, emotional boy is, you know, he's a little happy. He's a little guy. And then we got us up here in the corner just like, hi. Us in the corner doing like this. Hold on, I have an emote for this from Iced. We're just doing that. Congratulations, you have become a cat person. Congratulations, such a sweet thing. Aw. I'm sure you say that to all the serpents. The 5-man band is complete. Our Sentai squad. Exactly. Ooh, what rangers does that make us? I feel like we might be, so hold on, if we're going for brains, we're probably the, what is it, the Blue Ranger, I think was the quote-unquote smart nerdy one. Okay, so which of these kids is going to try and keep up with us? The energetic and loyal anemone, the tough and energetic cow, the bold and confident Mars, the quiet and adventurous Dice, studious and mature Tangent, or the shy and sweet Tammy. Okay, these two characters are off screen. Where is, can we pull up friends? You know what? Let's go. I was leaning towards the energetic and loyal anemone, but I kind of feel like we should take the off-screen option and see what might come up for this. Let's go with the shy and sweet Tammy. Oh, they look like such a gem. Oh, that is adorable. They look like an herbalist. I'm telling you. If this was an RPG, this is kind of an RPG. This was like a Final Fantasy. This outfit screams alchemist or like potion master. And this is a gem. Already love them. I just met Tammy. If anything happened to Tammy, I will destroy them and then their entire generation. All right. 9 familial extermination for anyone that causes Tammy to cry. The game can only show 4 portraits at once. I see. I'm kind of sad there wasn't like an arrow to cycle through portraits then. But understandable that there's a bit of a game limitation. Unfortunate that they didn't have a way to work around it implemented. So that kind of sucks to hurt. Half years my yeah, I do like that the game or the generation ship, they are flirting with some genetic engineering, but it's not, at least we haven't seen too much as far as what I would say is toxic genetic discrimination. It seems like they sort of are, you know, just adding a little bit to give people a bit of an advantage and not like going the route of the parents tailoring their child to what the parent would have wanted, you know, because there is issues with sometimes parents trying to live the lives they wish they had through their children, which has a lot of negative effects on people when that happens, which is unfortunate. Tammy is the kindest person you know. She idolizes Auntie Sedent, is always following her around, helping her with the babies or learning how to cook. Cooking is awesome. She has the best snacks at class recess and always shares, especially with you and Cal. She and Cal are just as close, so it's kind of like having 2 best friends. Oh, so we can, okay, so we're gonna go with Tammy, but let's look at Tangent just so we can like see the character. Okay. Okay. I think we got our future science officer over here. Often too busy to play with others. Sits right up front by the holo projector and always has her hand in the air. She and her twin brother... Oh, okay, so she's the twin of Dice. They drifted apart when she started genome treatment to make her body conform to her gender. Today, Tang is the girl you always knew she was, but her relationship with Dice is worse than ever. Aw, that's unfortunate. Really love this. Really love this. The fact that they are empowering the children and giving them the choice of how they want to identify themselves. And the fact that we have the technology and are applying that technology to give them the body and image that they are most comfortable with. I like that. So we're going to go with Tammy. Watch out, any change to DNA can be toxic. That is, hey, you're going to live on a planet with 1.3x Earth's gravity. So we're going to make your bones stronger so you don't slowly turn into paste genetic rush. Yeah. All right. Going to fast forward. We're 10 years old when the ship finally reaches the wormhole. Professor Howell says it's like a doorway to another star system, with the planet Vertuna 4 on the other side. You run emergency drills for months to prepare. Oh, I think we got creativity for being friends with Amy. Oh, okay, so they're going to be our childhood friends. So they're going to be our besties growing up. Oh, that's cute. Plus 10 stress. Are we getting stressed because of the event or because we chose Tammy? I think it's because of the event, because I see there's a little underside of the circle is showing up. Now, one thing that I'm wondering is the music. I see the game sounds is very low. I wonder if the game music is just naturally soft. Because like the title screen, banger synths. Loved it. But I hope it doesn't always go away. Because that's kind of been my complaint on some of the games we've been playing. Like with Subnautica. And also with Sunless Skies at times. Is they have amazing music. But too often they're aggressive on the game triggers that mute it, which is unfortunate. All right, what's going to happen during the emergency drills? When the day finally comes, it starts with a rumble, and things start to slide off the tables. You hurry to gather near the escape pods, just in case. The emergency area is crowded with families. It's going to be fine, Solana. Your dad soothes. We'll be through the wormhole, and you'll be down on the planet before you know it. Just like we've practiced. Your mom gives him a sharp, worried look. Red emergency lights switch on as a siren begins to sound somewhere distant in the ship. You try to breathe slowly, like you were taught, but you're very scared. You look out a porthole. Stars are gone. When you're frightened, you... Okay, so we don't have the toughness for this. Get in touch with our emotions. Think of a game to play. I feel like this might be the most apt because I tend to be pretty introspective. So let's stress cry. Crying is good for the soul. Crying is good for the soul. You know what? That's okay. Hold on. Hold on a second. Do I need to click on it? Oh, okay. Illustration. That. Okay, this game already is getting so many W's. Having the artist attached with an illustration and like a link to the artist. And we're barely into this game and I fucking love their design decisions. Okay, so we're going to get minus 10 stress, friendship with Tammy, friendship with Mars, and gained a memory stress card. You ball... Fuck, I did it again. I need to stop just clicking. Is there a setting to make it not... I need like a button to advance rather than clicking anywhere because I feel like I'm going to keep messing this up. I don't think there is a button to do that. Changes twin is probably an identical twin. Yes, yes. I think that's what it's implying, because they specifically mentioned the gene treatment to become what they feel comfortable as. All right, you bawl like a baby. It feels good. You aren't the only one. Nearby, your classmate Tammy has tears streaming down her cheeks. Mars is trying quietly to console her. He sighs as your crying makes Tammy wail even more loudly. Your dad puts his arms around you as you let it out. You wait. The shaking builds. Then everything starts to get very weird. The hallway stretches, and you're stretching too. Your arms are impossibly long. Your head feels like it's filling up like a balloon and contracting down to the size of an atom. Uh-oh, I hit buttons. Is this the wormhole? Also, hello Tapes, thanks for sending me through the wormhole. Or Arrow Lucy, thanks for sending me through the wormhole. Also, hey Tapes, welcome on by. You hear the distant, ominous squeal of metal giving way as the ship shudders and lurches in slow motion. The weirdest part is a sense of deja vu. You're sure this has happened to you before, and you know somehow that everything is going to be okay. The shuddering reaches a crescendo. You hear an impossibly loud crunch and feel weightless for a few seconds before gravity slams you back against the wall head first. You black out. As you slip unconscious, you feel yourself twisted out of time. It's today, it's yesterday, and tomorrow all at once. And more than just one tomorrow. Lots of them. Different tomorrows. You find yourself in a place that you know from your dreams. Tilled fields, dramatic ridges, and a stranger, but not a stranger. Grinning, she grabs your hand. Hurry up, she says. I'm not gonna let you miss this. Distantly, you can feel the ship's shaking has stopped, and you hear your parents' worried voices. Feeling safe, you slip further into the warm embrace of the stars. You drift. The wormhole. Yes. Got to see your horsey? Ooh. All tomorrows. Existential dread. I mean, it depends on how many tomorrows. I gotta see your... Wait, you have a horse? Gradually, your consciousness reforms. You wake up in the medbay. The medbed under you plays a soft tone, and an automated voice speaks. 2 weeks have elapsed. The patient's cranial injury has completed healing. They may now be safely discharged. All Tomorrows is a book that memed. Oh, I see. I didn't hear about it. As the fog lifts from your head, you realize something different about the room. It's so bright. You try to focus on the window. Something is definitely different. Trees? Instead of the familiar blackness of space, bright light from twin blue and yellow suns is streaming through the windows. You peer out and see fields, glass-walled domes, and walls ringed by giant mushroom-like trees. There are construction materials everywhere, and people are walking around outside on the ground. You better get out there and join them. All right, let me first check something real quick. Okay, good. Rush outside to start our new life.